recommended be set for settlement conference and discovery order to enter.
Ms. Hall, can you say your name for me, please?
Alyssa Hall.
Did you go through your advice of rights with your attorney, Ms. Hall?
I did.
Okay. Did you have any questions about your constitutional rights?
No.
And did you allow him to sign your name to your advice of rights?
I did.
Okay. And so in front of me, I have an order for discovery. I will have that signed. We're going to be adjourning this for a settlement conference for your attorney to get the discovery or all the evidence that the other side has. For purposes of arraignment, I'll enter a not guilty plea. Ms. Hall, you're going to have some bond conditions. You're to appear in court as directed. You have a $1,000 personal bond. I think I missed that. You're to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. You're not to commit any crimes while released. And you're to immediately notify the court of any change of address or phone number. Give me just 1 second.
I do have a question on that. My bond was returned to me.
You don't have to post any money.
Well, I know that, but I thought all bond conditions were done because the bond was returned.
Well, Ms. Hall, we're doing the arraignment now, which is we hadn't done before. So she's going to give you the bond conditions, but the bond, the monetary bond is personal, means you don't have to post any money.
But you still have to adhere to the bond conditions I just stated. Do you understand? Yes or no? Do you understand, or do you need me to go through them again?
I suppose.
It's a yes or no question, Ms. Hall.
I don't understand how there is still bond conditions when my bond was returned, but that's apparently something else according to my lawyer. So it is what it is.
No, I'd be happy to explain it to you. So you're on bond. So whenever you have a pending case, you are out on bond. Instead of being in custody, you're out on bond. I'm giving you a personal bond, which means you don't have to post anything, but you still have to adhere to your bond conditions. You can't go and commit a murder.
Then off of that original case, because I originally got that bond back and told that nothing further was going to happen. And then all of a sudden I was told I missed a court. So I'm still confused. Is this not the same case?
Okay. So we're going to do a full arraignment. Okay, Mr. Panto?
I'm just confused.
I understand. I'm going to go through it with you. Because that's part of the arraignment, is to understand what you're being charged with. So give me 1 second. Let me
I'm being charged for disorderly conduct at my brother's house. I understand that.
Okay, that's the
but
charge.
The day my bond was returned and they sent a letter stating nothing is going to happen at this time. And then
they have the right to review and file charges, which they did, and that's why we're at today's point.
All right, can we?
So they reissued the charge, and I'm reassessing a bond, which means you have bond conditions because technically you're out on bond. I'm assessing you a $1,000 personal bond, which comes with bond conditions. So I see where you would get confused if the one before got returned to you, but we're back at it.
Welcome back to Courtroom Chronicles. Today's story is a wild one. Imagine walking into court, arguing with the judge about why your bond still exists, and somehow turning a routine arraignment into a mini courtroom showdown. That's exactly what happens when Alyssa Hall steps before a substitute judge who sounds eerily like Judge Shackelford. What starts as a simple legal formality quickly spirals into a clash of logic, law, and attitude. Stay tuned, because this isn't your average bond hearing. It's a crash course in courtroom patience, confusion, and a bit of unintentional comedy. Let's dive in.
They reissued this case.
I just don't even understand how they reissued the case because it was my brother kidnapped my kids. But it is what it is. I have my own issues with Taylor Police Department and everything else right now that I'm going through. So.
Okay, well, you're the one that has the case. So you're the one that has the bond conditions in the jurisdiction of this court, Ms. Hall. Do you understand your bond conditions, yes or no?
Yep. I know that my lawyer requested discovery.
I'm not talking to you. There's no question. So give me 1 second. I'm looking the report over.
Ryan Lupica is the.
Is there a place?
There's an address.
That's what I'm looking for.
It's Ryan
It's
Lupica.
on Marvin Street in Taylor.
Ma'am, give me a second, okay?
And this is why I hate paper.
I did explain to her that the court would require she have no contact with Mr. Lupica or his address.
Yeah, I just need for the
I
bond
don't talk
condition.
to my brother.
Ma'am,
Okay.
enough.
Don't talk.
Honestly, you're just digging yourself a hole right now, so just stop.
I'm not doing anything.
Ms. Hall, it's easy here.
Marvin Street.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you're also gonna have no contact with Ryan Lupica or 13685 Marvin Street. When I say no contact, Ms. Hull, I mean no contact. That means you cannot email him, call him, or text him. That means nobody can do those things on your behalf. I see you're listening, but I don't need the attitude. You cannot send a text message or tweet.
Everything seems calm so far. A standard arraignment with polite exchanges. But if you've seen enough court videos, you know that peace never lasts long. Alyssa appears cooperative, maybe even respectful at first. But soon, confusion over her bond status will ignite a small legal storm. It's a classic, I don't understand why this applies to me moment that judges dread. Keep an eye on how the tone shifts, from routine procedure to open frustration, all because of a misunderstanding that should have taken 10 seconds to explain.
Instant message or anything of the like. That includes contact on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Cash App, or any form of electronic communication whatsoever. If you have him added on any form of social media, you are to delete him immediately. Sending a blank message is considered to be contact, since I'm instructing you to take specific steps to make sure that does not happen. If the communication comes from you or by the direction of you, it will be considered contact, and it will not be a defense that you accidentally contacted him. If he contacts you, you are not to reply. If he's at a public place, such as a store or a park, and you see him, you are to leave immediately. This is the order of the court. The victim in this case cannot change the order, only a judge can. If he were to invite you over or to ask to meet you anywhere, and you do so, that is a violation of this court's order. If we need to change this order at any point, we will have a hearing with both parties.
Here it comes. The moment confusion enters the courtroom. The judge is calmly listing standard bond conditions, something every defendant hears. But Alyssa? She's about to challenge the very concept of bond conditions. This is where legal logic meets personal interpretation. It's like arguing with gravity because you think you already paid the air bill. Watch how the judge handles her confusion. Patient at first, but slowly realizing that this conversation might take longer than expected.
R24172, and we're here on a status hearing regarding your hiring an attorney. Tell me where you're at on that.
Yes, sir. I had brought the paperwork that I needed to prove contingency. I brought the pay stub and the worth of my car, and right now I'm in between jobs, so I got approved for unemployment temporarily until I can get another job. I'm just waiting for those deposits to come through because sometimes they take a while to review. So currently I'm waiting for that to.
Do you know how long that's going to take?
Usually they said about 6 weeks sometimes to receive payment, but I'm still looking at jobs, and I've got a few interviews scheduled as well. So
when are your interviews scheduled?
Today and this weekend, or tomorrow.
So we've had this conversation before, and I've told you that you've applied, and I've looked at your reapplication, and you still make more money than the minimum to have a court-appointed attorney. You understand that? Because you've reported that you have zero expenses. Because didn't you say you live with your father or something? Do you live with your father?
There it is, the misunderstanding in full bloom. Alyssa believes that because her money bond was returned, all bond conditions magically disappeared. But legally, that's not how it works. Returning bond money only means the financial part is over, not the legal obligations. The judge tries to clarify, but Alyssa's tone hints at resistance. And if you've ever watched courtroom clips, once a defendant starts debating the definition of bond, it's about to get interesting.
Yeah,
He pays all your expenses.
he does.
So all the money that you make can go towards an attorney. The value of your car can be sold. It can go towards an attorney.
It's only worth $1,300.
Well, I understand, but if you've got $3,000 in benefits coming to you, you've got $1,300 in a car, and you've got no living expenses, then all you have is income and no debt. And so state law says that it's going to have to be less, that your income is going to have to be a certain level above your expenses before the court is going to be able to find you indigent. So we had this conversation last time that you may have to sell your car.
But $1,300 doesn't.
This is a classic standoff, the yes or no question that refuses to die. The judge just wants confirmation. Alyssa wants logic that fits her understanding. You can feel the courtroom tension rise as the judge switches from polite to firm, emphasizing structure over sympathy. And yet, Alyssa's calm delivery, it is what it is, gives her that defiant, passive-aggressive edge that courtroom audiences love to dissect. What do you think? Genuine confusion or quiet rebellion?
They haven't released the funds at all, and they're basically still reviewing. And the only money I had was the $111 from Abby's Bagels. So that didn't last very long because I asked them questions about their policy, and they said that it wasn't working out. So
How much are you paying your bondsman?
paying what?
How much are you paying your bondsman?
The bondsman, I paid $5,000 total. But that was when I had a job. HEB supplied my ability to pay. That went away because they took hours away, and I was driving too far. So I've been kind of up and down with jobs. Like I've had 3 jobs the past year, and none of them have worked out very well. Just due to scheduling of new employees and overstaffing, things like that.
All right, Mr. McGregor, I'm going to reset you for 2 weeks. Reset you for 2 weeks. I want you back here on October 17th. You come back and you still have a car and you still have income and you have no expenses and you come back without a lawyer, we're going to have a hearing on your bond. I may find your bond insufficient that day, and I may put you back in jail. And the longer you sit in jail, the more likely you're going to become indigent to the point where I can appoint you an attorney. You see how that works? If you're going to pay your bondsman $5,000, you're going to have a job, you're going to pay them $5,000, and you're going to get out of jail, but you're not going to hire an attorney to go forward on your case.
I would hire an attorney if I had 10,000 to come up with, but it's just not possible for me.
You've got a car and you're unemployed, right? So you got a car, so you could drive to all these different places that are all looking for people to hire, right? Sounds like it's possible to me. So I want to see you back here in 2 weeks. If you don't have a lawyer in 2 weeks.
Now, the mystery deepens. The judge clarifies this is technically a new case, even though it stems from the same incident. The charges were dropped and then reissued. That's rare but legal. Alyssa, however, thinks it's some bureaucratic error, and she's not shy about voicing her confusion. Here, the courtroom becomes part therapy session, part law lecture. The judge is trying to explain legal continuity, while Alyssa is trying to rewrite courtroom logic.
Fabio. Oh, yeah, yeah. Gregor, you've just disrupted court with your behavior today and your actions. You understand that?
I accidentally tried to open it the wrong way. I apologize.
I'm going to find your bond insufficient today. Deputy Martinez, go ahead and take him into custody.
By now, the patience in the room is paper thin. The judge gives Alyssa a warning that's both gentle and serious. You're digging yourself a hole. Translation: stop talking before you make this worse. But Alyssa's insistence that she's not doing anything shows how little self-awareness she has in this moment. Judges often deal with attitude like this, calm on the outside, simmering